Today's show is the brand new manager of the Grand River Farmers Market for the Downtown Development Authority, Dodi Wheeler. Hi, Dodi.
Hi, Bart.
Good to see you.
Good to be here.
Yeah, congratulations on your new position.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be there, happy to be in place to make some changes and kind of elevate some things.
Yeah, and you're repping the brand today with Eat Fresh, Buy Local.
That's right.
One of the things we were talking about with the start of this year's farmers market, sweet seasons, which had been a staple of the market for decades.
Yes.
They retired.
They did retire. I've spoken with her a bit, and I think that she's going to be occasionally on board this year as well as she can be. She knows they're kind of an anchor, and I think they've got some things going on the farm, but I think maybe we might see them pop in a couple times. We'll be sure to let everybody know if they do, because I know they are well received and well loved.
They certainly are, and the Jasanowskis, I know they've been trying to encourage a family member to step in, so that's still, I think, one of the things happening.
Yeah, we might still see them. Yeah. We might still see them.
So what was your interest in the farmer's market and taking this job?
Well, I would never claim to be from a farm family or anything like that, given the level of commitment and devotion that takes, but ever since I can remember, even my grandma and pa over on Bennett Street, matter of fact, up on the hill behind Optimist there, they used to own all that land, and they had just a very large family, as most families did back then, and they did all of their farming. You know, everything they had came from that little plot right there, and subsequently, growing up, you know, my mom came from New York and didn't know much about farming or preservation or anything. It was my dad that sort of taught her about, you know, gardening and farming and preserving, and so therefore that's kind of the environment that I grew up in. And now even myself, I live in a subdivision, but I still have quite kind of, I like to call it a little burbstead. So I sort of have an interest in that, and I always went down to the farmers market, and you know, we've gone to other places, other farmers markets that are very successful, and it sort of seemed that it was struggling a little bit post-COVID or pre-COVID. And then when the farm manager position was posted, you know, we kind of laughed and said, boy, wouldn't that be something, it'd just be lovely, you know, to get involved with that and help. And then started thinking about it a little more and thought, you know, this might be something that probably everybody says, why doesn't somebody do something about that? And I said, well, I kind of think maybe I can. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for that because I'm sure you have, as many of our viewers, seen farmers markets in their communities that are, oh wow, this is cool.
Yeah, great things. Great things can happen. And you know, with COVID, we lost a little bit of that confidence in where our food was coming from. And it really did bring the food to table conversation in farmers markets more to the forefront of our communities when we were looking to source food and things like that. So I think it's important, you know, to remember kind of how we were afraid for a minute. We really were worried about where our food was going to come from. And I don't know, I think it's good to know to connect with your farmers in your community, a little more food security there.
Well, I think we've got a perfect setup. Covered pavilion, at a parking lot, on the river, easily accessible.
It is.
We've got just some shots. So we were talking before the show, it's kind of early. It's, you know, I think as far as growing, anything that's harvested might be asparagus. Yeah,
asparagus. I mean, you've got some peas. Obviously, you've got lots of herbs and young green plants, things like that. We've got lots of cut flowers. We've got some vendors that are going to rotate throughout the early season. But I think it's important for people to have kind of the proper expectation that you're not going to come down to the farmer's market at the beginning of June and find pumpkins and zucchini and things like that. So, which, you know, if you're new to the farmer's market, you may come down and you may expect to find this huge spread, the wagons full of corn and things like that. But, you know, in the beginning of the season, it is a bit slow. You've got your meat, your eggs, your things like that. But it will pick up as it goes. A month or so down the road, there'll be plenty, abundance.
Yeah, and you do stress local, and it's all local.
Right,
and there have been, I've seen farmers markets where they're just stacked with all kinds of stuff year round, and they do the import stuff from the south.
They do. And you know, when we're talking local, we're talking, you know, maybe Britain, it might be here, it might be there. It's definitely all Michigan. We have our, you know, Sefronic Farms out in Hanover. Horton jumped on board this year, and they're growing by leaps and bounds. So it's really neat to have them kind of ultra local.
Which farm is this?
Sefronic Farms. Nick and Caitlin out there.
Oh yeah, okay.
They're here. They'll be here Saturday and Sunday every single week. So they've got lots already to offer.
I can picture Nick Stefanik in farm duds.
Yeah.
So our own Brandon Dolly visited the farmers market on Saturday to take in a little bit of the sounds of John Lewis Good and check out the scene as well. And here's a look.
To moan in my soul, yes, give me on good loving, and when right I'm down that road, I'm looking for a home. I'm looking for a home. Well, I'm way, way, way down that road. Got shipping little money, well, I'll see that this train run. Well, I told that break-in about my baby, and he said, sorry, man, unless you got the wage, you gonna walk across this land. I'm looking for a home. I'm looking for a home. Well, I'm way, way, way down that road. Thank you, man. You bet.
Wow, awesome. Dodi Wheeler is with us, the new manager of the farmers market downtown. And Brandon came back and was telling me about the lobster. I couldn't picture it. So you've got where'd you get this lobster truck?
I put a post out on social media a little while ago and said, look, we've got trucks here. What would you like to see? And everybody said, it would be incredible if you got the lobster truck from Detroit. I'm like, well, we'll just ask. And they said yes. So yeah, they came all the way over from Detroit. They're scheduled to come back a couple more times. So, and it was fantastic.
Cool.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
All right, so what can people look forward to in the coming weeks on Friday and Saturday downtown?
We've got a pretty good lineup of vendors. It is on our social media accounts. We've got a good variety. I mean, we're trying to really get a good variety of things. Grand River Brewery has their bakery items down there. We've got Grandma's Lavender, who grows everything she makes. She has skincare products, bath products, and it all comes from the farm where they grow their own things. My bakery is the brand newly licensed bakery stemming from my place, which is here in Jackson. It is transitional housing for young women that are aging out of the foster care system.
I've had some of their cookies.
Yeah. So that's really neat. That's allowing them to sort of hone their entrepreneurial skills by bringing all their baked goods down to the farmers market. So I would encourage people to stop by and see them. You can expect more food trucks. Like we said, the lobster truck will be back. Craveable was down on Saturday. We've got Callahan's coffee truck is coming up from Brooklyn. They're going to be there several days. We're always looking for more. If anybody else wants to jump on board. We're still taking more vendors, unique artisan crafts, things like that. And of course, we'll have some more music lined up. John Lewis Good had a great reception this weekend. So he actually let me know today I'd like to come back 5 more times this summer.
Oh, cool.
So he'll be there. Kay Harper will be in. Lauren Morse from Nashville, she'll be in. And we're always welcoming more. And I do want to note, too, that the value of these musicians, we know the value of their talent and their time, and they've all volunteered to be here. So every single person you see performing here is on a volunteer basis, and we really appreciate that. They're doing that for one reason, and that is to sort of contribute to the elevation of that hub that is the farmers market, to bring people downtown. So much appreciated. Show them some love, when you come down. They'll be like buskers. They'll have, I'm sure, their cases open, so feel free to support them when you come down.
That's cool. Yeah. Thanks to John Lewis Good. Great talent, and
he really is.
Good to hear he'll be there a few more times. So, Dodi, what do you grow in your little burbstead?
Well, I started out with just like a 4x20 bed, and now it's grown to about 10 of them, and just like my backyard subdivision. And there isn't a whole lot that I don't grow. So, I mean, we have all kinds of lettuces and tomatoes and cucumbers and eggplant and all kinds of things. We have goji berries and we have Brussels sprouts, and it's amazing what you can fit inside one little fenced area.
Yeah, and really in the next few weeks, we are going to start seeing berries, strawberries.
Oh, yeah. Lots. We have a strawberry patch, and
Yeah, this really from here on out, there will be produce from area farmers. And if you're an area farmer and you've not participated in the Jackson Farmers Market, call Dodi. I talked to a couple farmers. I've talked to Jackson farmers at the Marshall and Ann Arbor Farmers Market, and I said, what are you doing? You're a Jackson farmer. Why aren't you at the Jackson Farmers Market? And they said, oh, well, it's a conflict of our day. It's the same day. And it's like, oh, come on. Take time. Be there some.
That's
be
right.
here some. Yeah.
Yep. And they're always welcome. And, you know, it's nice to collaborate. It's nice to have options for people. I've, had friendly conversation with Travis Fatasic out at the Green Market at Allegiance, which is now Henry Ford. And they do have the Sandstone Farmers Market out there where there's some people getting together. So, those don't conflict. Sandstone is on Sunday, and obviously the Green Market is on Thursday. So I would encourage everyone as much as they can, to patronize all of those, because everybody's out there trying to shorten that food to table chain, making things more accessible and trying to bring good products to the people of Jackson.
Yeah, support the local farmers, whether it's their farm stand out on Rise Junction Road or the farmers markets downtown. The more you support them, the more successful they are, and the better our farmers markets will be.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, thanks for putting on a great opening weekend.
Yeah, well, thanks. We need everybody just to keep coming down. When you're budgeting your grocery money for the week, think about that, on Fridays when you come down. Come and spend it down there. There's lots of things there to consider. And if we could just get people to come down, that's all we need to do. That's where the real success lies.
We'll see you down there this Friday and Saturday, all season long, all the way through end of October.
Thank you.
The new manager of the Grand River Farmers Market, Dodi Wheeler.